She's got beautiful eyebrows, right? But obviously one brow is much darker than the other. I am using a pencil on one side and then powder on the other. I'm going to show you how you can use both pencil or powder to make it look natural. So stick around. You're going to want to see this. Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, your brow expert. Thank you so much for joining me. So like I said, today's video will be about how do you hold the pencil, not so correctly, but the best way to get that outcome, the angle brush for a powdery effect, and how do you make both to look natural, right? So, and I'm going to choose a very dark color because you can choose the right shape, but sometimes it goes on really dark. So that's why I also want you to see me holding the pencil and the brush so you can see, oh, maybe I want to hold it that way. And the model is obviously there for you to see how the color can go on. Now, she does have that full eyebrow. If you feel like you don't relate because you have thin eyebrows, I promise you, you'll still get something out of it today. I've been shaping eyebrows for over 25 years, and I'm still at the Anastasia Beverly Hills Salon. So if you're in the neighborhood, or if you're going to visit, please come by and get your brows shaped. I promise you I will give you the best eyebrows. And all the products will be mentioned in the descriptions if it's not properly tagged. I say properly because some of the colors don't quite pop up in the tag, but that helps me if you just go quickly there. And I'm going to introduce another new product later on, so you definitely want to stick around for that. So you guys ready for the model? Okay, so full brows, right? And you're like, I wish my brows were that full. So do I. So do I. But you know, it's nicely shaped. I did shape her eyebrows a little bit. She does have some gaps here and there, but of course we want to keep them as full as possible, right? And so, and that seems to be the trend now, which is a good thing. Okay, so I'm using the brow definer on this side of the eyebrow. Notice that I'm laying the pencil down. It's very important, and I'm going to keep reiterating that. It's important because if you just lay it down, not holding it like this, we tend to hold pencils this way, I think. But I think if you've been following me long enough, you know now to lay the pencil down or this way. So the reason being is that then your pressure doesn't get as heavy. You tend to be more light-handed when you do that, and it just goes down really pretty, right? I'm holding a granite pencil. I believe I was using the same color on her, so beautiful, perfect, right? Filled in the gaps. Her brows look really pretty. Not much to it, right? So like I said, if you lay the pencil just very softly, you know what, even if you have thin eyebrows and I'm doing my left eyebrow right now, you're just having to, you're seeing your brows come to life. Then you can add more color above here or down below, because then you can really start seeing where it needs more color, right? As opposed to just trying to get that perfect shape at the beginning. Now I'm showing you how much darker it can go with the same pencil. Here, it's really dark, right? Because I'm applying heavy pressure. So if you just press really hard, I'm not gonna do it on my eyebrow because I got so much to talk about. But you get the point here, right? Because now the pressure, it's in the same direction. I'm still holding it laying down, but now I'm pressing hard. That's how you get it obviously darker. So if you find yourself heavy-handed, that's okay. You now just keep telling yourself, just touch lightly and then see if the brows keep coming up. Like, you know, is it coming to life? Even though you have thin eyebrows, just go right on it and then you'll start seeing it. You can already see that this side of the brow is a tiny bit darker than this side, right? Okay, so that's why I wanted to show you with the pencil. We're going to go back to that in a minute. Okay, so now I'm doing the other side with the powder and the angle brush. I'm actually using just the lighter side of the powder first to show you. And now hers, the powder is granite, the darkest one we carry. I'm using the ebony, but again, you get the idea, right? It's just a light side, dark color. But notice how I'm just brushing the brush up, the angle brush. I'm not holding it this way and going back and forth. Now I'm grabbing the darker color. This is just really going to show you how much darker it can go. But, you know, sometimes if you want that ombre look where it's dark on the ends and then lightened up in the front, you can use that dark side. You just don't want to press really hard and drag the brush, right? So here, but I haven't gotten to that dark part yet, right? Here, I'm showing you that I'm really just tapping around the eyebrows just to show you again how it can work, right? It doesn't have to go on dark. And I'm holding the brush upside down because I'm behind her. But if you were to do it on yourself, you can still do that same thing. On this side, it would be held this way. On this side, it would be held this way. Or you could lay the brush down this way. I'm using that like side of the brow, and then I'm just going up. See at the edge, going up. This is how simple it can be. It doesn't have to be that difficult. You don't have to struggle that much. And with the same thing with the pencil, just dust the powder over the hair. Even if, again, if you have thin eyebrows, very sparse eyebrows, just dust it. Notice that I'm laying the brush sideways, and I'm just dusting it over as if I'm putting eyeshadow on, right? Like when you put eyeshadow on your eyelid, you do this. Same thing for your eyebrows. Don't hold it this way. Hold it laying down or above. So then you really just get that nice light application. The darker color, again, you just tap, 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 just to get that more of a deeper look, but not too dark. So now I'm getting the darker color again. So the darkest shade is, again, something that as you saw earlier, it can be very light, right? But notice this. Now I'm applying a little bit of a heavier pressure, still laying the brush down, but it's just dragging harder. I'm pressing harder with that darker color. So this is why I wanted you to see how it can go on dark, but it can go on light. So of course, I'm going to keep stressing that light, dark. It's all about the pressure. And it's, now you're learning, or if you haven't already, just how to hold the brush, right? Or how to hold the pencil, where it doesn't have to be that dark. So just know how hard you're pressing and how light. I know that if we press light, you're like feeling like, well, okay, the color's not going on. But as long as you're getting the color on there, that's when you can just apply a tiny bit more pressure to get the color on there. So you can see the pencil side, which is on this side, on the first eyebrow that I did. You can clearly see, even though it's the same color, it's a little bit deeper. Again, the consistency makes the pencil go on a tiny bit deeper. So keep that in mind. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. The brows have been cleaned up again. She was such a trooper, great model. Now I'm just using the powder, and I'm making this just beautiful, easy. I'm going back and just barely touching her eyebrows again. It's all about, again, just going over and brushing up. See, notice I'm brushing up the brush with the powder. But I'm also going at the edge. Did you notice that I'm going right at the edge of the eyebrow and then going up? So if those of you that have sparse eyebrows, that's what I mean by go at the edge. Even though you have gaps in the middle of the eyebrow, don't worry about that right now. Just go right at the edge. And then you want to go always at the top edge above the eyebrow line, because then you keep the brows fuller, or you make it fuller. And so it barely looks like I'm touching her eyebrows, but I am. And by dragging the brush up and down, it really goes over those little holes in the middle of the eyebrow. So this is what I meant by I'm going back to that pencil. Now, if you feel like, okay, I really like the eyebrows, especially if you have sparse eyebrows, but you know what, there's those little gaps that just can use a little bit more color. That's when you can grab that pencil and go over that powder and just press a tiny bit harder, but just a little bit. And then you can just go over those little areas. So that's why these can make a really good team as well. You don't have to sometimes just pick one or the other. So pencil is always good to just have on hand. The clear brow gel is really important for someone that has very sparse or very soft eyebrows. The brow gel adds that product, the fiber, so it sticks out the hairs. I mean, it puts the product on the hairs and you can really see the hair. Gorgeous, right? And by the way, I don't know if I showed, going back and just filling some edges. She actually has a highlighter underneath her eyebrows, but this is Lace Shimmer, and it just gives it a nice glow on the eyebrows, underneath the eyebrows. That is a very beautiful glow. It's one of my favorite products to use. So beautiful before and after, right? where it doesn't look that much different than her before, but her gaps are filled in a little bit. It just looks more polished. And again, keep in mind that it's all been used by a dark color. Now, yes, I predominantly use the powder for this pretty look, but I did use a little bit of that pencil. So it's good if you have sparse eyebrows, going back in to fill in those little gaps. If you have thinner brow and you want it fuller, you can still use that powder or flip it and use the pencil first just to get it a little fuller, because then you're more comfortable with that. And then you could use the powder over that. So what did you think? Did you like this video? Please give me a like if you did. If you learned something, let me know in the comment box. And if you know someone that is struggling using the pencil or powder and they feel like it goes on just too dark, share this with them so that way they can learn how to make the brows look a little lighter, right? And like I said, I did tag the products, so you could just tap the screen if you want to purchase that particular product. But everything will be written in the description, so don't worry about that. And so I did promise you that there is another product I have. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but right now I am obsessed with my blush. And because I am more mature, my skin's a bit more normal to dry, I like these creamy blushes. And this one in particular, because it dries a little bit, not too much, so it doesn't stay too wet or sticky, and you don't need much. You need very, very little. Mine's very subtle, right? But believe it or not, there's quite a few colors. Right now, I have been using Plum, which is very intimidating. If you have my skin tone color, you may want to try out the Plum. But there's many different shades. I use the Guava as well. Guava is really pretty too. And the pink. If you have very light skin, you want to use the pink one. But believe it or not, I have been obsessed with this particular color. Now look at this. Very, very intimidating, right? You're like, I can't put that on my cheeks. But it moves, you move it around, and then it just really gets lighter, and it just makes it look more, I don't know, just youthful. But it goes really well with my skin, so that's why I've been really into wearing this particular color. And Guava, so I switch back and forth, Guava, Plum. So that is a new product. That's the one I have been obsessing over. And thank you so much for sticking around. Definitely give me some comments if I've missed anything, if you want to share anything. But I will see you guys next week. Thank you.